Did you know that the average desktop computer sits idle for more than 60% of the day, yet the power it consumes while on is still enough to light a 100-watt bulb continuously? Those numbers get even more interesting when you look at the mini PC market, devices that pack desktop-level performance into a size that could comfortably sit on a bookshelf. If you've been curious about getting that kind of power without the bulk of a tower, the msecore AI mini PC might be worth a look. Link is in the description if you want to check the product details on Amazon. What makes this tiny box stand out is the combination of a 14th Gen Intel Core i9-14900F and a GeForce RTX 5060T with 16 GB of GDDR5 memory. In practice, that means you can run demanding AI workloads, edit 8K video, or game at high settings without a separate workstation. The 64 GB of DDR5 RAM and a 4 TB PCIe 4.0 SSD give you enough headroom for massive datasets, and the SSD's speed cuts load times down to a fraction of what you'd see on a standard SATA drive. Because it supports 4 external displays, you can spread your workflow across multiple monitors, which is a huge win for anyone who does multitasking, streaming, or design work. One of the biggest practical benefits is the compact footprint. At just 220 by 168 by 115 millimeters, the whole system fits on a narrow desk edge or even behind a TV. I've placed it in a standing desk setup where the cable clutter used to be a real pain point, and the built-in Wi-Fi 6E keeps the connection steady even when I'm moving around the room. The rich port selection, for USB 3.2 ports, for USB 2.0 ports, and 2 gigabit LAN ports, means you can hook up high-speed external storage, a professional audio interface, or a full-size monitor without needing a docking station. For gamers who stream, the dual LAN ports let you dedicate one to your internet connection and the other to a separate network for streaming gear, reducing latency. If you're into content creation, the RTX 5060 Ti's 16 GB of GDDR5 memory handles real-time ray tracing and AI-assisted upscaling with ease. Editing 8K footage becomes a smoother experience because the GPU can offload rendering tasks that would normally bog down a laptop. I've also tested a few AI image generation models, and the i9 processor paired with the RTX GPU cranked out predictions in seconds rather than minutes, great for rapid prototyping. For programmers, the massive RAM and fast SSD mean compiling large codebases or running virtual machines is practically painless. Even if you're just a power user who likes to keep dozens of browser tabs and Office apps open simultaneously, the system's responsiveness stays consistent. Another angle to consider is future-proofing. With DDR5 and PCIe 4.0, you're already on the newest memory and storage standards, which means you won't need to upgrade for a while. The Windows 11 Pro operating system is already optimized for hybrid work environments, and the machine's AI-ready GPU makes it easier to dive into emerging software that leans on neural networks. Because the chassis is built from aluminum and has a well-ventilated design, thermal performance stays cool even under sustained loads, so you won't be dealing with noisy fans or overheating during long rendering sessions. Of course, no device is perfect. The first thing that caught my attention was the price. Packing all that hardware into such a small package does come at a premium, which might be a hurdle for hobbyists on a budget. The other minor downside is that you won't find a traditional CD or DVD drive, which isn't surprising for a mini PC but could be an inconvenience if you still rely on optical media for certain software installations. Overall, though, the strengths far outweigh these points. The biggest plus is the performance-to-size ratio, giving you desktop-grade power without the tower footprint. I also appreciated the extensive connectivity. Having multiple USB ports and dual Ethernet means I can keep my peripherals and network stable without juggling adapters. If I had to pick a single shortfall, it would be the cost, simply because you can get a decent desktop for less. However, you're also sacrificing the space-saving design and the cutting-edge components that come with the msecore. To sum things up, this AI mini PC is a solid choice for anyone who needs serious compute power in a room-friendly size, whether you're editing video, training AI models, or just craving a fast, multi-display workstation. If any of those scenarios sound like your next project, give it a look. Don't forget the link in the description if you want to grab one.